Hey, welcome back to Rusty Judgment. If we haven't met before, my name is Tom. And today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be showing how to replace these old outlets with nice new white ones and how simple it is and that you can do it yourself.
Don't try this at home.
Warning, what you are about to see is being brought to you by an unauthorized, unlicensed, unprofessional individual who holds the driver's license only. I am super excited and blown away by all the questions of things you guys want to learn how to do, things you would like to do around your house, problems with your homes. It's exciting for me. I'm sorry that you have those problems, but I'm going to show you everything that I know how to do. And today we're starting with these guys. This is actually the most asked for thing out of all the comments. I read every one of them. There were a lot, but we're going to get started with outlets and switches. Show you how simple that is. I would love it if you subscribed if you haven't. And we're gonna just jump right into this because it's real easy. All right, so first things first, you would wanna take off your switch plate cover on a light switch. There's a screw here and a screw here. And then your cover comes off, and on a plug-in, you have one screw in the middle. Unscrew that and your cover comes off. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is turn off all your power. You can do it multiple ways. You can turn off the panel in your basement. You can kill the whole main panel. Or what you can do is, I have a tester like this. You can get these for just a few dollars. You don't have to buy these to confirm that power is off. So right now you see it's showing that power is on and that it's wired correctly. So I use these for everything. But if you don't have that and don't want to go buy that, what you can do is you can plug in, although I just realized I'm sneak peeking some of our Friday video accidentally, but it's okay. You're here on Monday, you can see it. So what you would do is you could put plug a lamp in, go downstairs and flip your breaker off to make sure your power's out. And then when your lamp's off, then you have no power there. Or if you're in a home by yourself, you could hook up a radio and turn the radio up loud. And then you could come down here to your electrical panel and you could flip off breakers. I think I know which one it is. Or you could just start flipping them. You can, technically you could flip your main. That kills power to your entire house, which maybe we'll just do that for now. But you can go individual breaker panels or you can flip the whole thing. But make sure you flip them back on because you don't want to have no power. Everyone's scenario is going to be different as far as turning power off because depending on your house style, you could have knob and tube power, which then you'd have to pull the fuse out. So then I would come back up again with this guy and test and make sure. So now no lights on there means no power. If you don't have this, again, you could plug, like cobwebs downstairs. You could plug your lamp back in or your radio in, turn it on, make sure you're okay if nothing is in there. Nothing turns on, then there's no power. Now we get to the fun part. Old ones are typically flatheads. And then you pull it out. Okay. Now, this white one right here, I can touch this because there's no power. So you can touch anything here and not get shocked. So the white one is your neutral. This bare wire is your ground. And on the other side, there is a black wire, which is your hot. So for outlets, so you see you have two hots. So what's going on here with this one is, so you're gonna find a bunch of different things going on with your outlets. So this one with two hots coming in and one neutral, that means that the electrical, the wiring behind the wall doesn't stop at this outlet. The power travels through this outlet and then it goes somewhere else. I don't know where because it's a closed up wall. But so what you'll do is you'll just copy this, right? So here's our new one. Same poles, right? Same spots, right? Same exact. We're just gonna copy it. So we're just gonna unscrew these, unscrew those, and just re-screw them to the new one. So what you can do, which is what I taught my kids to do, is unscrew just one side at a time and then reconnect them to this side of the new one and then go to the other side and do the same over there. So that is what we are going to do right now. Okay, so now I mean, you can use a screwdriver. I'm using a drill just because it's what I had set up from other stuff. So I'm just going to take these out. That one was on the bottom. So, bottom, top. You don't have to pull the screws all the way out. Just on the old ones, it's easier to just back the screws all the way out. Then you'll notice is they've got, see these ones, they've got a hook in them. So you'll run into two different kinds of things here. So the hook, obviously, you will just hook it around like inside of there. You might have to pry this open a little bit with like a screwdriver or little pliers to get it to fit in there. Otherwise, on new ones, do you see these round holes in the back? So on new ones, what you can do is you can straighten this out so the wire is completely straight and you can push it. So the wire will push, like my pinky here, you can push the wire straight inside of there and it will lock inside and you don't have to use these nuts on the side. I'm not gonna do that just because these are already curled. I'm just gonna reattach them the way they were. But that option is available to you. If you see on the back here, the round holes, you can straighten out your wires and you can push them straight into there. So if these are crimped a little too small, I would just grab onto it and just kind of open up the hook a little bit, just so that you can get it around the stud. Okay. So now you'll just hook them behind here, like that. So those are just hooked in there now. Now I'm gonna tighten them down. Okay, so that side's tight. And then I'm gonna go to the other side. So now on the other side, same thing. So if you have a really old house, you may not have ground wires, which if you don't have ground wires, I mean, you can't create a ground from nothing. So if you have no ground wires, you don't put a ground in. So then this one, same thing. So this one you'll hook on the same way as the other side. You always want to put the hook side, and this is just bent. It's just a wire that you can just bend. So if it doesn't have that, you want to do it, you hook it around so that it wraps underneath the head. You want to do it in the clockwise orientation so that when you tighten it, the screw down, it wraps it tighter around the screw underneath the head. If you go the opposite direction, like let's say you have it that way, what'll happen is when you go to tighten this guy down, it will try and push this wire out and it won't grip as well. So you always want to have it orientated or bent in a clockwise position around your bolts. So now I'm gonna hook this guy on here like that, and I will hook the ground one on at the same time just because we're here. Believe it or not, that one's done. So the other thing with these, and this is just my own preference because, so if you look inside of here, you see it's a metal box. So it's a metal outlet box inside. I don't like the metal boxes, and I don't like metal boxes just because I always worry like if this was put in there and somehow it was like close to the edge, could it transfer the electricity to the edge of the box? That may be just me being maybe OCD about not wanting to get shocked or not wanting electricity to transfer. So I will, on a lot of these metal boxes, I'll take electrical tape and I will wrap around the block itself just to kind of cover these with electrical tape so that if they did bump something, they didn't transfer anything. So I will do that now and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Which you don't have to do what I'm about to do, it's just something that I do with metal boxes. All right, so then it looks just like that, basically, which you don't have to do that part, right? This is just Tom's extra security for not wanting to get shocked. But Tom also a lot of times does these with the power on. So don't do that as well. And because I've done them with the power on so many times, I've been shocked a lot. We'll put a nice new cover on it. This is just temporary because, I mean, it's temporary for me because I gotta rip all this back out to put in a backsplash. There you go. Isn't that prettier? So this outlet actually should be a ground fault because there's water right next to it. We'll talk about that one on another day. Now that the plug-in is done, we can do the light switch. So power is still off in the house, so same rule would apply. If it's a light switch for a room with a light, you would turn the light on, you'd go flip your breaker, make sure your light goes off. The difference with a light switch is on your plug-in, you had 2 posts here and 2 posts here. A light switch, you typically only have 2 posts on one side, and then you would have a grounding lug on the bottom like this new one. So a grounding lug and then two posts on the one side. So the reason why you have 2 posts on one side is typically a light switch is wired. It's basically an interrupter switch. So power runs through the switch and back out to your light. And by flipping the switch, it either breaks this connection, it breaks this loop, or it connects this loop by which way the switch is gone, which is what turns your light on and off. So same rule applies. We are going to switch them to this new one. And then these ones, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Make sure you put them in the correct orientation so that when you turn it on, it says on, and when you turn it off, it says off. You could technically wire it like this, and it would still work, but it would read wrong. So we got black on top, white on bottom. Now I'm gonna lean in front of the camera while I screw this back in because it's the only way I can see it. Ta-da, just like that. You got rid of the ugly ones for some nice new white ones. So now you would go back down or to wherever your electrical panel is at, and you would turn power back on. So I'm gonna flip the breaker back on here, and I'm gonna flip all these ones on that I turned off. So now we will go back upstairs and we will test the switch by flipping it and seeing if the light works. And then we will show you how to test the power on the plug-in outlet and make sure that that works. And this is on, off, on. And it is the correct orientation. It says it's on and it's on. So that's good. And now this guy. So again, this is only a few dollars. So let me set it down and show you. So it shows all the different lighting codes on here. Will show you if it's wired incorrectly, it'll illuminate that way. So now we're gonna plug back in here. And it is wired incorrectly, or not incorrectly, it's wired correctly. So that's that. That's pretty simple, right? I think that's pretty simple. So super safe way to do it. Get yourself one of these, kill the power to your house or to the breakers. I wouldn't kill the power to your whole house. I would plug in a lamp or a radio or something, or use one of these. Find the correct breaker, turn the power off, double check it with this or something else with power to make sure that there is no power at it. And then you're safe to rewire any of it. And then you're basically just copying what was there. And I believe in you. If I can do it and I can teach my kids to do it, I guarantee you can do it too. There are more complications though. So this was probably the simplest setup for a light switch and an outlet. If you have a 3-way light, if you have a 3-way outlet, that's another story. So if you open it up and you find a white, a black, and a red wire, that's gonna be 3-way. And we're gonna talk about that on another day. So if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and considered subscribing. I will see you tomorrow with another home, gosh, what are we calling these? Home repair tips? How-to repairs? I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something. Thanks for watching. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.